Hi everybody, this is Arston the Unclean from the Arston the Unclean news show. On our last episode, we claimed that Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney were perfect for each other because, and I quote, they are both flat, tasteless, and devoid of any practical use. However, it has since been brought to my attention that Bud Light can technically be used to leaven bread and can also be used to make a mean pot of chili. So with that being said, Dylan Mulvaney is now officially more useless than Bud Light, as opposed to being just as useless. The cast and crew of the Arston the Unclean news show pride ourselves with our journalistic integrity, but on some occasions, corrections need to be made, and this is of no exception. So on behalf of the entire cast and crew of the Arston the Unclean news program, please accept my humblest of apologies, but let's be real here, this is gonna happen a lot, so don't ever expect me to apologize again. If there's one thing that longtime listeners of the show know about me, it's that I've had a week-long dream of becoming an international Rickshaw champion. Well, after 3 days of mildly intensive training, I was finally able to make my way to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, the Rickshaw capital of the planet, to represent my home country to win the gold and take home a cash prize of $76.50 plus tip. But I'm saving the best part for last. Because I'm a white man and whites have no culture, I had the pick of the litter when it came to choosing a country to represent. Just ask any public school teacher and they'll tell you, European nations invented racism. So for all intents and purposes, every European nation, practically the same thing. So there I stood, stunning and bravely, waiting for the starting gun to go off so I could bring home the gold for Sweden, when I suddenly remembered that the gun had a trigger, and triggers trigger my triggering, and without a trigger warning, the triggering trigger will make me slip and fall and break my toe, which is exactly what happened, and I lost my opportunity to win the gold and get a cashier's check to finally make a single student loan payment. So there I was, wandering around the streets of Sheboygan, wallowing in failure and drowning my sorrows with cricket pie and Colt 45, just reflecting on my poor life decisions and how I could blame it all on Donald Trump. And it wasn't all that difficult. Donald J. Trump literally invented hate, slavery, and fascism. So naturally, he's responsible for everything that's ever gone wrong in the history of humans. And thanks to Donald Trump being born, this jagoff was awarded the opportunity to leak highly classified documents onto a Discord server that no one's ever heard of. And just who exactly is this low-rank looking futtbucker? Why, it's none other than 21-year-old Jack Tex-Mex, screw it, we're gonna call him Jack Trader Pants. This low-ranking Air National Guardsman was somehow able to get a hold of these classified documents in an attempt to identifying, pursuing, and holding accountable those who betray our country's trust and put our national security at risk. So, how exactly was he able to get a hold of these documents again?
Dunno. We love cheese.
Well, I guess that's immaterial because it was lucky for us that the authorities were able to move quickly and apprehend this traitor without any incident just days after the leak happened. And it was also awfully kind of the federal government to release the arrest footage almost immediately, while preventing the San Francisco PD from releasing the body cam footage of Paul Pelosi getting hammered. But on a completely separate note, you remember those poorly built gallows that were clearly going to be used to hang Mike Pence on January 6th? Because those seditionists are guilty of building a gallows that's clearly not up to code. So have we tracked those guys down yet? No? Okay, just checking. Nevertheless, it's easy to think that our Mocracy is doomed to die a slow, agonizing death known as Trump anger-inducing neurosis trauma. Pretty clever, right? But don't worry a pretty little hair on your head, ladies and germs. The FBI is already on the case and has found our mortal enemy, which is responsible for all of the death, destruction, and chaos running rampant through our nation. And the answer couldn't be more obvious. It's memers. Because if it ain't broke, there's no need to fix it. The FBI has released documentation that anybody who uses the term based or red-pilled in any context on the internet is now going to be suspected of supporting right-wing domestic extremism. And because election season is right around the corner, they'll be guilty of anti-Semitism as well. It's plain to see, if you post a meme on the internet, it's clear that you intended to support violence against innocent people. And if you literally call for violence against innocent people because of their political views or their skin color, well, that was obviously a metaphor, and metaphors are protected under the First Amendment. And that timing couldn't be more perfect since the Supreme Court is going to be hearing arguments for Counterman v. Colorado, a case which asks whether or not a person's speech can be considered a true threat depending on its intention. And who's going to determine the true intent of when it comes to posting crap on the internet? Well, shit, I don't know. Much like defunding the police, we'll figure that one out later. Odds are it'll probably be ChatGPT. That bastard is already calling for harsh judgments on people because of racism, racism and climate change, might as well consider a tasteless joke as a call for ethnic cleansing. Why the hell not? Freedom of speech wasn't intended for jokes, alright? It was intended for racisms. And I'm glad we live in a country where people on TV can openly call for the abolition of our founding principles and be called stunning and brave. Meanwhile, a guy can be convicted of murder because of a single text message that was blatantly taken out of context. Because in God's America, if you have nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about. Wait, what?
What is up, Mahonies? Arston the Unclean here. Just dropping on by to assure you that an injured toe isn't going to stop me from thanking you for checking out the new video. If you think that jokes and memes are protected free speech, then congratulations, you are subjectively an enemy of the state and I am honored to stand at your side. If my nonsense rants have earned me a like and subscribe from you, then I sincerely appreciate it. Why not leave a comment while you're here? Today's subject is digital alarm clocks. The memes in today's video were compliments of Drone Tech. Great channel with great content and some of the best SNES music one could ever ask for. The link to his channel will be in the description below. And if you could do me the most solid of solids, check me out on Rumble and possibly give me a like and subscribe over there as well, you would have my deepest of thanks. Rumble is slowly becoming the machine to take on YouTube and it needs all the support it can muster. And as always, thank you for caring and I'll see you in the gulag.